Where do we start with these? One of my favourite things to review are headphones because you guys tell me what to review next, and if there's one pair that has been dominating my comment sections, it's the Sennheiser HDB 630s. Now these are the spiritual successor to the Momentum 4, which I'd forgotten how good these were. They still are very, very good. And although Sennheiser isn't saying that these are the Momentum 5 because they're not, they're the HDB 630, they are technically the next generation Momentums, which begs many questions because on the box it says wireless audiophile headphones. Now, these didn't have the word audiophile attached to them. Interesting. You want to know, apparently, are these better than the Bose & Wilkins PX8S2s? And I guess really, bearing in mind you can get these for a lot less now, are these worth it? Before we get there, just a very quick word from not a sponsor because this video isn't technically sponsored, but we do have some fantastic brand partners who help me keep the lights on in the studio. One of them is Brain FM. Brain FM is basically an app for your iPhone or your Android phone which pipes music into your head that can make you more productive. It can't guarantee that, but I can't work without it. It's as simple as that. We have a fantastic deal. The link is in the description. Let's get back to these. Right, the specs that matter. So these have 42mm dynamic transducers, which are the drivers obviously. They have Bluetooth 5.2, which isn't Bluetooth 5.3 or 5.4, but they do have multi-point connectivity, which is important. SBC, AAC, and aptX adaptive codecs. And what else? 60 hours of battery life. 10-minute charge gives you 7 hours-ish of playback, which is nice. They weigh 311 grams. What other specs matter? Oh, you get this in the box. This is a BTD 700. What is it with headphone manufacturers and these naming conventions? Anyway, a BTD 700 Bluetooth adapter. That's very important. I'll get to that later. And they cost 399 quid in the UK and $500 in the US. But what do you get for that? These are the Momentum 4s, and I think they look lovely. I just love this kind of jean type material and the white and the whatever color that is. These, well, firstly, they are pretty much identical to the Momentum 4 in terms of design. So they're both plastic. It's plastic throughout, really. And they have the same cup design. The only difference really is the fact that the cups on the HDB 630s are just a bit deeper, so they're a bit thicker. Everything else feels the same. The cushioning feels very similar, a little bit stiffer on here, but they are pretty much the same headphones. These only come in black though. You can only get the black version at the time of filming this video, and they just look a bit normal. Is that a bad thing? Maybe not. They just look a bit, And if you don't have any hair, like me, they do stick out quite a bit. In fact, they stick out more because of that increased cup depth than the Momentum 4s. They're just not the sexiest headphones in the universe, and for $500, 400 quid, when you get them out of the box, you don't get that immediate kind of ooh that you get with the Bose & Wilkins PX8S2s, although they are much more expensive, to be fair. The other issue we have, two issues. One is, well, it's the case, which is absolutely massive. Now, it's the same dimensions roughly as the Momentum 4 case, but it is, again, deeper because of those deeper cups. And it's this big because the headphones only fold like that. They don't fold that way, which is annoying. I know some people don't understand my obsession with headphone cases, but I'm someone who takes my headphones out in their case because I don't want to just chuck them into a bag. That'll get them scratched up, and it's just not the best way of looking after your headphones. So to have a case this big, it's just annoying. These have been a pain to carry around in this case. The second problem, just like the Momentum 4s, we have one button, which is, where is it? It's that one there. It's for power and it's for Bluetooth pairing. That's it. Everything else is touch, which means play, pause, volume, I think, and more annoyingly, the ANC and its degrees of ANC. So it's not just on and off, it's kind of 20%, 50%, 80%, which I don't get. Just on or off is fine. But anyway, to control that, you have to pinch, and it's just really fiddly. And the biggest issue is that when you put these on your head, you forever, I've just done it now, you're forever accidentally pressing play. Can't stand it. However, they're the most comfy headphones ever. I can forgive all of that stuff because they are incredibly comfortable. One of the most comfortable pair of headphones I've ever placed on my head. If you're not fussed about design and the colour and the size of the case and that sort of stuff, if to you comfort is more important, and this is where this word audiophile starts to come in, then you can disregard everything I've just said because they are incredibly comfy. But how do they sound? Okay, the sound with and without the dongle. I will get to the dongle in a second. I promise. It's very hard to say dongle lots of times. These, out of the box, without any EQing, just normal Bluetooth 5.2, sound fantastic. They're rich, they're wide, they've got a beautiful top end. The mid-range is very present in the best possible way, so it's not fatiguing, and you can hear vocals and guitars, and everything that sits in that mid-range is just beautifully defined. They are among the best sounding headphones I've heard. The one thing that really impressed me was the weight of the bottom end. Stop laughing at the back. Anything that's in the mix that needs to be big is very, very big on these in the best possible way. It really hits you in the feels, as they say. So out of the box, beautiful. However, sound is completely subjective, whatever certain people think. If you don't like it, these have, I think, the most detailed EQ settings I've ever seen. So we do have a standard 5-band EQ there. Nothing spectacular about that, but if you want more control, we have a parametric EQ, which basically means you can take anything from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz and place your little things on there and change anything, basically. It's got Q, if you know what Q is, it's got that, it's got filters, it's got A/B testing that you can do. Again, a bit like the comfort and the fact that that matters more than how sexy these do or don't look. That's where this word comes in. I've never seen a parametric EQ on a pair of ANC headphones before, but it's there. And if that's your thing, then basically you can get these sounding however you want. Then we have this. This is the BTD 700 dongle. And the idea, the best way to describe this is that it takes the, for instance, iPhone Bluetooth output and makes it better. So the iPhone can output AAC as the codec, that's it, which is a lossy codec. It's compressed, etc. It's good, but it's not the best. If you plug this into the bottom of your iPhone, the right way around, in fact, it doesn't matter, but if you plug it into the bottom of your iPhone like that, that light comes on, these connect to it, and what that does is send the signal from this to these in a better codec, which is the aptX codec from, it is the Qualcomm one, isn't it? Yeah, Qualcomm aptX. So it takes the AAC codec, turns it into aptX adaptive, and chucks it over to these, which means in theory you get higher res audio. Now you don't get lossless, it's still Bluetooth, it's impossible to get full lossless audio across Bluetooth, but you do get a much higher bit rate. Can you tell the difference? On certain tracks, yes, you can. They're just a bit wider, a bit fuller. They sound a little bit less compressed. And what I mean by that is that sometimes, for example, you can hear a snare cut through much better via this dongle compared to not the dongle. Compared to not having the dongle and using AAC, it's just a bit cleaner and less, squashed and all that sort of stuff. But you do have to A/B test, and you do have to know a little bit about sound and what to listen out for to hear the difference. It's not night and day. You don't plug that in and go, whoa, my entire universe has changed. That just isn't the case. However, it is better. And if you just want the knowledge that you're getting better audio out of your iPhone or any other device that doesn't have aptX adaptive built into it, then it's a selling point. And it's one thing that you don't get with any other pair of headphones. Even the Bowers & Wilkins PX8 S2s don't have a dongle in the box. So it is definitely a differentiator for Sennheiser. And again, comes down to this word. Audiophiles who are buying a pair of ANC headphones and who have, for example, an iPhone will be happy about this. Two very important comparisons. Firstly, the Momentum 4s versus the HDB 630s. These sound better. They're wider, they go a bit deeper, they're just a bit fuller and richer sounding, but it's not night and day. You do have to A/B test them and have both pairs to hand, obviously. It's not a massive leap, it's a kind of evolution of this sound, and also it reminded me of how good these are. So if you've still got your Momentum 4s and you're happy with them, I'd stick with them. The big one. The one that I keep getting asked. Are the HDB 630s better sounding than the Bose & Wilkins PX8S2s? No, not out of the box. These are still the best sounding ANC headphones I've ever heard. They are utterly incredible, and pitching these against these reveals just how good these are, because these are very good as well. However, these are about 230 quid more expensive in the UK, so they're quite a bit more expensive. So it may not be a fair comparison, but lots of people have asked for that comparison. So audio-wise, the PX8S2s are definitely better. They're just incredible. But that's not fair on these, and it's why as a headphone reviewer I'm completely spoiled, because these are a beautiful sounding pair of headphones. However, they are ANC. They do have active noise cancelling, and it's very, very good. It's better than these. So if that's more important to you, and you can kind of forget that these sound better, and plus you have the parametric EQ on these anyway, so you can probably make them sound like the PX8S2s. But if noise cancelling is very important to you, these are very good. Nearly up there with the XM6. They're that good. The only downside is the transparency mode, which isn't great at all. You just can't hear yourself very well, and the whole world is a bit muffled, whereas these are very good for transparency. I think these were the same as these. It's just not great, which means on telephone calls you can't hear yourself as well as you can on certain other brands. It's a shame, but it's not a deal breaker. But on the subject of telephone calls, let's do a very quick mic check. This is a very good test today because it's very breezy, so that there's lots of wind coming past the ear cups, which a lot of ANC headphones do struggle with when it comes to the mic quality. So it'd be interesting to see how the HDB 630s cope with that. The transparency mode, I wish it was better. My voice is just a bit muffled and it sounds like I've got something around my ears, whereas the best transparency mode on the likes of the AirPods Max still, the Sony XM6, the Bose & Wilkins PX8S2s are very good as well. You can hear yourself very clearly, you can hear your surroundings to the point where it barely feels like you've got headphones on. These aren't like that at all, so that is a bit of a shame. But as always, guys, let me know what you think about the mic quality in the comments. Back to me in the studio. So they don't have the sexiest name on the market. They have a massive case, which is annoying to carry around. They have a very annoying touch control surface, and they don't have the best transparency mode on the market. However, they sound fantastic. They are incredibly comfortable. They have wonderful noise cancelling, and they have this Bluetooth dongle, which is a definite differentiator. And for the price, I don't think they can be beaten based on those things. I think if you're an audiophile, they are an obvious purchase. Just get them. That they will be your favourite pair of ANC headphones you've ever bought, and they are cheaper than the Bose & Wilkins PX8S2s. Also, if you want the best possible audio out of your iPhone without using any kind of cabling, they're a bit of a no-brainer. They're very hard to beat in that respect, and I can't think of another pair of headphones in this price bracket that matches them. Guys, thank you for watching this. If you haven't subscribed yet, but you've been watching this channel for ages, make sure you click that button and get involved down below. Tell me what you think about the Sennheiser HDB 630s. I'll see you down there.